Welcome to BL-101, New Testament Greek for Beginners. The purpose for the following videos is to freely provide beginner New Testament Greek classes on the internet. Hello, my name is John Hall, and I've been teaching Bible and New Testament Greek classes for over 20 years now. Over the past few years, I've seen a need for beginning Greek classes to be freely provided on the internet. There will be no charge for these courses, with all lessons freely given. I do ask that if you wish to continue this course, that you would support the publisher of this textbook by purchasing a copy of J. Gresham Machen's text, New Testament Greek for Beginners. I think it's put out by Macmillan Press. Now, if you find these videos to be a bit rough around the edges, please forgive me. I'm a teacher and I'm not a video editor. Though I would love better tools and skills, I'm going to make do with what God has given me. If you have any questions or need tutoring, please feel free to contact me. I'd be more than glad to help when I can. Now, on to our lessons. Okay, welcome to Lesson 2 Lab. Actually, this would be Lesson 2, let's correct this, 2A Lab. By now, you should have gone over Lecture 2A, become familiar with the mechanics that you've learned in the lecture. And we're going to take that material and apply it in this lab over the next couple minutes. The first row we're going to deal with, and these words were taken out of Machen's textbook, we're going to apply by breaking down the words into syllables and then identifying the syllables in these materials. The first row here is eluamen, the first word in the first row, eluamen, eluamen. Lecture 1, you learned your letters. You should be able to read that, maybe not as quickly, but you should be able to recognize the letters pretty well here. Now we're going to separate these out into syllables. Well, the first syllable is then you have lu, amen. Do you see that right there? Lu, amen. Now why isn't L, U, amen? Let's go back over and take a look. Why isn't it, L, U, amen, L, U, amen? Well, when you say the words elu, amen, you'll find that it falls out a lot easier than if you separate it as elu, amen. It could be elu, n. Why not? Because when you pronounce the words, it doesn't roll as easily. You'll find when you pick up these words, it'll be easier and easier to recognize these. Eluamen, eluamen. Now, remember we talked about the ultima. There's the ultima right there. It is the last syllable in the word. The penult would be the second to the last. And then you have the antepenult. The antepenult. Okay? Let's try the second word here. Main. That's how you pronounce the word. Elua, not men, but notice this is the long version here. This is the Ada, so it would be eluamen. Eluamen. The ultima would be main. The penult, omicron, and the antepenult would be the lu. Eluamen. Let's go to the next word and practice on this one. Once again, you have eluso. Eluso. So is the ultima. Lu is the penult. and then would be the antepenult. Eluso. Let's try the second row. Second would be elu. Elu. Interesting. Why wouldn't it be eluwa'u? Why wouldn't it be that? Because remember, the omicron upsilon is a diphthong. It's a diphthong. So it's combined together as one. So it would be elu. Elu. There's the ultima. There's the penult. And the epsilon would be the antepenult. Okay? Next word. Elue. Elue. You have the ultima, the penult, and the antepenult. Okay? Next word. Elusamain. Elusamain. Notice something odd here. While in this previous word, elue, the first epsilon here is the antepenult. That is no longer the case when it's changed to elusamain. Take a look. First of all, you have your ultima, main. Main. You have your penult, which is sa. The antepenult now is lu, because the antepenult is the syllable that precedes the penult, or it's the third syllable from the end. So this word would be elusamain. Elusamain. Okay? Row 3. This is the word didaske. Didaske. Let's break that down. Didaske. Didaske. Notice the separation between the two consonants there. Why isn't didaske? Could. I think it's much more easier to do it didaske. Didaske. The ultima is ke. The penult, das. And d is the antepenult. Following word, a little bit harder. Didaskantai. 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 Why is this one syllable here? It's because the alpha iota. The alpha iota is a diphthong. You should be able to recognize your diphthongs in the Greek. If you're having a struggle, that's not a problem. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Just stop what you're doing, go back over, grab your Machen. Hopefully you've purchased a copy of Machen. That is a very good textbook to add to your library. And go over your diphthongs. This would be didaskantai. Didaskantai. This would be your ultima, tai. Here's your penult, con. And then you have your antepenult of das. Didaskantai. Okay? Now, next word. Didaskamatha. Didaskamatha. Let's break this down. Didaskamatha. There we go. Once again, we have a consonant vowels layout. Good. When you have two consonants together, it comes across as a natural break there in the syllables. So didaskamatha. Didaskamatha. We have the ultima theta alpha, makes a th sound. That's the ultima. The penult is the meh, mu epsilon, meh. And then the kappa omicron, ka, is the antepenult. How are you doing so far? Are you following along? It's important. If you're not following along, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just go back over the material carefully. If you're struggling with it, if you need help, contact me. Be glad to help out if I'm able to. I do have other responsibilities in life, but if I can stop what I'm doing and help, I'll be more than glad to. Let's take a look at row 4. Lu'eh. Lu'eh. Ooh, isn't an upsilon epsilon a diphthong? No. Lu'eh. That is not, so it'll be right there. Second word is lu'u. Lu'u. There's your diphthong. So that is one syllable. That is your ultima. And then you have lu is your penult. Take a look at the third word. Lu'usi. Lu'usi. Once again, you have your ultima, your penult, and your antepenult. Okay? Let's take a look one last row. Lusai. Lusai. Sigma alpha iota. The alpha iota is a diphthong, so it's combined together. So it's lusai. This would be your ultima, psi. And this would be your penult, lu. Next word. Luso. 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 So is your ultima, and lu is your penult. Here's a little bit of a challenge. Luete, is it luete or luete? Not worth arguing over. The reason why we have the breakdown the syllables is to show on the accents. When you hit the accents in lecture 2B, you'll notice that the accents just fall up on the vowels, so you can have, I've heard some people, I guess, do luet. I do luete. Luete. That's where I break down the syllable. Not worth arguing over. But the important part really are the vowels within the syllable. Luete, because you'll notice the mechanics. When you do lecture 2B, you'll find out that really the reason why we break down the syllables is where we can lay out the accents, or where the accents fly. Since the accents don't fall upon the consonants, really the issue of whether the tau belongs to the epsilon tau, or does the tau belong to the tau epsilon, I don't see too much of an argument on that. But anyway, hopefully this lab helped you out with what you had to learn on lecture 2A, and I hope it helps. Thank you.